Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Valley Spotlight. I have never been to Riser out here in Columbiana. Mike, have you? Have you been out here yet?
I have. Tavern on the Lakes. That's where Lisa and I met, and she said, you gotta come out for Valley Spotlight. She's a big fan. I don't know if she was just saying that or not, but she seemed like a big fan.
I've been to the place in Boardman, and it is the food's always been great, but now the atmosphere and congratulations, ladies.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for being here today.
It is our pleasure, right,
How long has
Mike?
it been open, Lisa?
We've been open here a year, and at Riser Tavern in Boardman, it's been 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So we had that going for 5 years, and then this opportunity became available, and we jumped on it.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of COVID, a year ago, we were still scratching our heads what is going on right now? And you still said...
I think it was because of COVID. This banquet hall wasn't getting, what the flow that it gets, and they decided to let somebody become a restaurant here. So we met with them and jumped at the opportunity, and we're grateful. They've been great to work with.
Bar, restaurant on this side, kind of a banquet area with some live entertainment sometimes on the other side. Yes. And the food, you put the food out here, and Chef Lindsay's going to take us down through the line. Talk about your creations. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
What's this?
That is our prime rib grilled cheese.
Yeah.
We cook the prime rib here. All of our bread is from the bread chef. Actually.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah. So provolone, some roasted vegetables, prime rib, au jus. Definitely a house favorite.
Fred loves chicken sandwiches. He's eyeing this. Is this have a special name?
It's our sriracha chicken sandwich.
Okay.
So we make something called sriracha bomb. I won't list all the ingredients, but very popular sauce.
Very cool.
Yeah, pepper jack bacon.
The one in the middle.
I saw this one and I was like,
Yeah. What are we doing here?
So we try to do some elevated specials every couple weeks or so. This one is currently on special. It's a crab roll. So crab, brown butter, corn and dill relish, pickled chive on there.
And Lisa says these are the best chicken fingers in the whole wide world.
I think a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
I know it's something super basic, but we do it right. That's all. We just
and
fresh
all
ingredients.
the sauces around it.
We made all those sauces here. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's this little baby right here?
Fried avocados. It's an appetizer with a bunch of pickled vegetables, sriracha mayo.
Not enough in there. If I'm here's the thing: you have to share it, and you don't have enough in there. Right. So let's do one with a 12 avocado thing, and then
it's like a bucket of chicken.
Yeah. Then you did a steering wheel for us at the end, right? That was nice.
That's right. So we make all of our pretzels here. They're made fresh every day.
This is to die for.
Yeah.
Everything's made fresh.
Yeah, everything's made as fresh as we can make it, for sure.
Lunch or dinner, Lisa? Or I know you're in front over the golf course too, so you got guys coming all the time.
We open at noon daily, and we close the kitchen at 9 on the weekdays, on Friday and Saturday at 10. So we're open.
That's a busy schedule.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you guys sleep?
Every once in a while.
We do.
You guys sit tight, okay? And we'll continue on with the show and talk about Riser as we go. Is that all right?
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having us.
This time you went on the road.
I did. It's always fun when Youngstown is kind of in a different spot, and it's really catching on because the people have found out about this place in Columbus. It's called Meatball Mafia. We met the owner. You're probably going to recognize him. I know you recognize the name. So here we go.
I graduated from Ursuline High School, and then I came down here to go to Ohio State, go Bucks.
Yeah.
And then I never left. Yep.
Yes, Robert Delaquadre lives here in the Columbus area, but he has Youngstown in his heart.
I joined the Columbus Italian Club in 2013. A lot of those guys are from the Valley, and the one night we were all sitting around after bocce drinking Peroni, and they were bitching about the Italian down here. They're like, the sauce is sweet, and this and that. And I was like, what do you guys think of the meatballs? They're like, the meatballs. So that's when I started thinking, maybe we should do a truck,
Robert decided to summon his Italian roots and, using his grandma's recipe, start his business rolling.
Over time, I started thinking, I make one good thing. I make a good meatball.
And his refurbished food truck, bought in Youngstown, started getting noticed.
And it used to be a Vindicator truck. It's got the orange on the inside. And we ended up bringing it down here, and we started working on it in 2014. We ended up launching it in 2016, and then we won the Columbus Food Truck Fest in 2018.
Soon after, the people in Hilliard, west of Columbus, were starting an indoor-outdoor area with a food court, and they had a space for Meatball Mafia.
So we finally opened here in June of 2020. We just immediately started getting the Youngstown customers coming through, telling their friends, like everybody in Youngstown does the same thing. It's like, if you like something, you love it, tell everybody. Same if you hate it. So I was under a little bit of pressure to get it right.
Right. His decor went from a mafia fling to a Youngstown thing.
What really makes us unique is the Youngstown part, just really trying to be a short trip to the valley, I guess. So I was really going for like an outdoor building that was something else, and now it's this. A lot of old industrial towns that kind of just evolve. And up here I've got Youngstown Universal Service and Supply, which is the most mafia thing I could ever think of. Any service, any supply, come see us.
Pictures of Jim Trafficant and Ray Boom Boom Mancini adorn the walls. He has a YSU helmet and an autograph from Jim Tressel. The swinging door to the kitchen even has real bullet holes in it.
And then, the door, just all the stickers, all the character. And it took time, when it opened, it was a lot less covered. But over time, we've gotten more things to put up.
Less covered then, but totally full now, thanks to customers from Youngstown bringing him things to display. The menu has even evolved. It's not just these delicious meatball bowls anymore.
The only pizza on the menu I was really trying to base on anything was the Briar Hill. I was going for a St. Anthony's classic Briar Hill. That was my school as a kid. That was my church growing up. So we do a pan style. It's their 12-inch, just like St. Anthony's. And that's kind of where. So I was if I can get a good Briar Hill, then I can base the rest of the menu around the products I used for that one, and then we'll be good. So that's why a lot of people are oh, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. It's the only thing I was really going for was the St. Anthony's Briar Hill.
He's been so successful here, Robert just opened a bar in historic Dublin, less than 10 miles away. It's a shot and a beer place called Missing Jimmy's, the kind of place that's all over Youngstown, the small hometown that's bigger than you think.
Oh, it's been great. I imagine a third of our customers are either from Youngstown or were told to come here from a Youngstown person, and I'm not making that up. It's crazy. That's been just amazing. It's like anywhere you go. If you go to Orlando, you're going to run into somebody in the airport in a YSU hat, or it was such a big place, and everybody dispersed that. I have people come tell me my grandma lived in Youngstown. It's almost like it's in the blood.
They give you a meatball you can't refuse.
You can't. It's not allowed. All the pictures, Ray and Jim Trafficant.
I haven't seen a Jim Trafficant bumper sticker in a long time, I have to say.
Dreams do come true.
I know.
They do.
Son of a truck driver.
This stuff, they weren't kidding. These chicken tenders,
Legit.
Fred jumped right in here. I did too. You had a bite of this one.
Yeah, I'm working through it. Why don't we eat some more during this commercial break?
That sounds like a good plan. And then we're off to the MedSpa at the one, the only, the Grand Resort.
A Christmas tradition for over 30 years is now back live on stage. Join over 100 singers, dancers, and Little Rascals for Miracle on Easy Street, December 16th through the 18th at Powers Auditorium. For ticket info, visit diorpac.org.
At RC Compounding, their team of pharmacists specialize in erectile dysfunction therapies that don't have to cost an arm and a leg.
It's becoming more and more comfortable to talk about these things. And we're not doctors, but we're pharmacists. But you can call and talk to us and we will tailor something to you. We will reach out to your doctor. We'll collaborate with you, collaborate with your doctor. We compound a specific drug for a specific patient.
RC Compounding, we care about your health.
Papa Canzonetta's peppers, recipe established in 1975. A family secret is now yours to share with the people who add spice to your life. Choose from mild and hot versions, plus our famous original blend too. They're the perfect punch for any dish, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got the recipes to prove it. Just follow us on Facebook, order online at papacans.com and pick your peck. papacans.com, order 6 jars or more and qualify for free shipping. We like it hot. We're glad you do too.
One of America's top comedians, Grammy-nominated Bill Engvall, is bringing his farewell tour to the Robbins Theater on Saturday, October 15th. 2 performances at 7 and 9. Get your tickets now at robbinstheater.com or at the box office. Bill Engvall at the Robbins. Don't miss it.
Football season.
Football season, yes.
Back to school season.
It is. I'm exhausted already.
MedSpa season.
I did not know this.
I didn't either, but it turns out the autumn or the fall is the time to go, and the audience is skewing younger and younger.
Go figure.
Go figure. So here we go from the Grand Resorts MedSpa.
So we find a lot of people kind of flocking in the fall months to start getting a lot of procedures done.
Kelsey Snyder and her staff are excited for this time of year. It is MedSpa season. And at the Grand Resorts MedSpa, they've been pointing to this time since they opened.
Kind of being out in the sun all day long every day isn't something that's happening for most people. So as that relates to med spas, we typically don't want sunburnt skin. We want really healthy skin to start most of our treatments. So that's important to us. Starting a brand new med spa, we had a little bit of an interesting scenario where we were able to open with a ton of services. So when we kind of opened our doors, we had a number of laser devices, microneedling devices, full gamut of injectables that we can offer.
Instead of just 1 or 2 services, they can offer the most in Northeast Ohio, giving them quite the advantage.
For sure, definitely when we're sitting with people in consultation, which actually usually happens in this room, we really have the ability to develop a customized treatment protocol for every person that walks in because of the range of services that we offer. It's not just like this problem equals this treatment. We have a selection to choose from.
And this is the time to do whatever you need done.
A lot of sun damage can happen in the summer, so we end up with like some abnormal pigmentation on the skin. So fall tends to be a great time where we have a couple services, both short-term ones and long-term ones, where we can start to peel away and correct some of those changes that happened over the summer.
Let's start with the ones that can get results right away.
In the fall, for instance, our chemical peel is one of the hot items that we sell a lot of. So people come in and we usually do about a series of 3 chemical peels where they can really peel away a lot of that sun damage that happened over the summer. We have radiofrequency microneedling here. That service is something that typically fall tends to be a great time to do it. We usually combined our radiofrequency microneedling, which is a procedure that helps to kind of lift and tighten and brighten the skin. We combine that with a skin resurfacing laser. So with that resurfacing laser, we can really change the pigment of the skin, correct the tone from the sun damage that happened over the summer, and just give people a nice, brighter complexion. And then we have some other services that are really popular in the fall, including laser hair removal. So it's a little bit more of a long-term type of procedure, several sessions to go through to get permanent hair reduction. But usually by summertime next year, you're not going to need to be shaving.
Maybe you've noticed, med spas are popping up everywhere these days. And one of the reasons is science is finally catching up to aging.
Well, I think technology has advanced a lot, so the procedures that we can offer, the results that go with those procedures are definitely next level than probably what they've been in years past. Downtime from procedures, I think, is something that catches a lot of people or has in the past, where they don't want to go through certain types of procedures or things like that because they don't have to deal with it. Nowadays with technology, those downtimes are minimal. At most maybe a couple of days where people might want to have what we call like a social distance, where they just kind of hang out and stay home.
But now a little self-care can make a big difference and smooth out the skin and some of their concerns.
A lot of our clientele come in with concerns of skin laxity or wrinkles. Those are prominent signs of aging that almost everyone gets. So that's probably one of our biggest concerns. I think people can be skeptical coming in thinking that those issues aren't going to be able to be corrected effectively. They may be scared of some downtime associated with that correction process. Overall, our before and afters that we're seeing with our radiofrequency microneedling procedure in particular at correcting those types of issues is phenomenal. And I feel that people have been really surprised by how easy it was to go through.
Easy for people of all ages. Med spa business is skewing younger and younger each year.
And truthfully, people are just finding that prevention is a lot easier than correcting. So we find that people are coming to med spas younger and younger just to do some things to help prevent the signs of aging. And then, like I said, technology, we're able to correct the signs of aging a lot more effectively now than ever before.
And while the staff here works on improving your smile, it's the smile itself that's important to them.
That's why we all do this. Yep, we all love just being able to get people to their goals and see happy faces.
So you can go to the Grand Resort's webpage if you like. The Grand Resort Med Spa is on Instagram and Facebook. They're all over the place.
And TikTok too. I think
try
I
it
saw
out.
them there.
Tis the season.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're nice ladies.
Top to toe.
Top from head to toe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's right.
All right. Oh my gosh.
I never canned a thing in my life.
Which is shocking to me because this is the
Captain
Italian man.
Yeah, I know. So I got to can some peppers and learn all about it from people that take classes on peppers.
Yes, they are well-educated canning guys. Mark Canzonetta, Jeff Canzonetta. Hats off to all the success.
To Pesto's Test Kitchen. This is Pesto. This is, do you have a name?
Yeah, Jeff Canzonetta.
No, like oregano or marinara or anything?
Papa
You're
Jr.
Papa now?
Papa Jr.
Baby Papa?
He's got a couple nicknames. We call him El Jefe, the chef.
Yeah? Effarino. This is going to be fun for me because I don't know anything about this, so I have a million questions.
You've never canned in all your years.
I've never canned. I've never seen anybody can.
Wow.
We've never done it.
It's a wonderful world of preservation.
Yeah.
It started off because we didn't have refrigeration, and it's led into this massive thing where it's like a cult thing where people love to do it. Family generations love to do it, but it started off as a method of preservation.
It seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it pays off in the long run.
Yeah, like on January 23rd when you want tomato sauce, then you're all set, right?
Right. When it's like 9 degrees below zero and you don't want to go down to your favorite family grocery store, you can go down to your cabinet and pull out a jar of peppers or a jar of tomatoes and make sauce.
What are we going to make today?
We're going to make pickles.
Okay.
We're going to make dill pickles.
Okay.
We're going to make bread and butter pickles.
Okay.
A little bit of spice.
Okay.
We're going to make some yellow tomato sauce, some red tomato sauce, and some hot peppers because our father, Jeffrey's father, my father, was Papa Canzonetta,
right,
and
yes.
it's kind of a mini tribute to him because this was his passion.
And you actually took a canning course.
Correct.
At a major university.
University of Tennessee.
And so why did you do that?
Well,
It seemed like you already knew everything.
Well, my father actually went to LSU too.
Okay.
So we both had to get our certification.
Okay.
Which was a 3-day course. And testing every hour and a half. I mean, we were there doing it.
So you were canning something and then you had to stop and take a test?
Well,
and
not
then...
actually canning. It was more book work.
Okay.
I mean, they teach you the principles of how to, do it from point A to point B to C to D to F and get it done right.
Did you
and
feel
they taught
like...
you that so you don't hurt people.
Right. Well, there's a lot
of...
of...
doctor to actually, we had the Cornell University get our recipe, and they actually had a doctor make sure that all the pHs, everything was correct for us to process.
What can happen? What can go wrong when you're canning that could actually really hurt somebody?
Well, first you have to clean the product.
Okay.
That's huge.
So when you buy these from the store, then you got to clean them too?
Oh, absolutely. You're supposed to. Or some people actually will blow air in them. You can blow air in them to get any, you don't want any residue or any particles in the jar.
Okay.
I prefer to actually run them through a dish machine cycle on just a quick rinse.
Okay.
So you get about that 140, so you kill off some bacteria. Because,
what about the lids?
Well, the lids you have to also do a separate way, but the biggest thing we want to talk about is we don't want anybody to have botulism. And that's one of the things that can happen, in canning, botulism, horrible if you ever get that. It's a bad part of your life you're going to go through in the hospital. And like when we're talking about canning hot peppers, when we're using garlic, when Jeffrey was referring to acidifying, that brings the pH level down. So that product will be shelf stable, so we won't have anything growing inside of that. So with peppers and oil, you have to have an acidified, or when I talk about acidifying, I'm talking about any kind of vinegar or lemon juice or anything that lowers acid lowers the pH level in products, and that makes them stable.
And it's easy to make mistakes. You've made mistakes doing it, right?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just for instance, when you put your product, let's say you put your product in your jar, this rim right here is so important. And my father always taught us the 3 wipe system, where we actually take a fresh paper towel, not one of your everyday towels in your kitchen.
Not the quicker picker-upper.
You want a fresh paper towel, and you do that rim 3 times.
With that paper towel's been
with a
dipped
little
in
bit
vinegar.
of vinegar and water,
Yeah.
and let it dry, and then put your lid on. That really makes a clean surface, because that surface is huge when you're canning.
And if you don't have that clean surface, then it doesn't.
Well, if you have oil on it, it won't seal, and then you'll have a bad product.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know it's going to be bad because it's going to pop open, and it could pop open and go all over your ceiling because so much gas builds up. But you know, we have a lot of products here. You know, you got some clean canola oil. You got vinegars of 3 different types of vinegar: red wine vinegar, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. We have some turmeric. Canning salt, pickling salt.
Huge.
That's a huge one.
Don't just use regular salt.
If you use regular salt, it has a lot of chemicals in it. And we don't ever use iodized salt, and I haven't used it in 10, 15 years just because it's not pure. So this is pretty pure.
Because of the chemicals in it, and it helps preserve the pepper also.
Yeah, if you don't have canning salt, you can also use a large flake kosher salt. That's pretty clean. Or we have some Maldon sea salt over there that gives you another layer of flavor. That's a lot of big flake, and it's very clean and natural.
You want to get started on some stuff?
Well, we'll get some started, but I just want to throw a big heads up. You know, you want to have great produce.
Okay.
Because great ingredients in usually means great products out. You know, and we're very blessed to have Molnar Farms. Rick Molnar and Jill Molnar and their family is out there doing their hardest work. And as we all know, we had a rough start to summer this year. So they were able to get these great products in. They were a little bit late, but I'll tell you what, I mean, when you take a cucumber, you know, a pickling cucumber, and it snaps like that, taste that. The freshness of that is just amazing. These yellow tomatoes, the red tomatoes, a lot of peppers.
All right.
Isn't that great?
I didn't realize on tomatoes you had to take the skins off the tomatoes.
Yeah, we do. And so Jeffrey's going to, you know, do a process over there. He's going to cut out the cores, and then we're going to take and dip those into boiling water over here.
All right, go ahead.
So Jeffrey, if you want to do that.
That one's been cored already.
So what we want to do is we want to cut an X in it, and then we want to cut out the core. Okay, and then we're just going to blanch those in a little bit of boiling water, you know, for about 30 seconds on each side, and then we're going to take them, we're going to hit them into the ice water bath, and that ice water bath is going to take over those skins off, because back in the day, you know, grandmas used to sit there with that tomato grinder, and it used to grind all the skins off. Now we get rid of that step, so it's not as much work. We have some modern appliances we can use. You can put it into a blender to puree the tomatoes down. You can just cook them down and smash them with potato smasher, whatever you want to do to make that happen.
Same process for the pickles and the peppers, or is
well,
that
the pickles,
different?
you know, you can slice these on the slicing attachment on your food processor.
Okay.
You can hand cut them depending on how thick you want. And then if you're doing a pickle, like a dill pickle, you can either cut it in half, cut it into quarters for a spear, or do it whole. Now, if you do them whole, you might want to salt them for a couple days before to get that so it permeates through. But we're going to cut them in half because those are just awesome in the flavor. And then, Jeffrey, talk about some of the peppers we have here, the different types of peppers.
Now, are these the peppers you have in your Papa Canzonetta peppers?
No, well, actually, I have this true Hungarian wax pepper.
Okay.
You can get this locally. A lot of farms do it. Molnar,
Some people grow them.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of families do it. They do their own little canning thing at their houses. And then here you have your goat horn, which is going to be a little bit hotter than this Hungarian.
And it's shaped kind of like a goat horn. You know, it's a little curly, a little curvy.
And then we have just your yellow sweet, which will give it a little bit of sweetness to overset this hot.
Do you guys like a mixture of them?
I personally do.
Medley is good. You know, when I'm canning at home, I like the color. So the orange is good. I also like the red. So
and the red is basically a mature pepper, so everybody knows that's a mature green pepper that's gone. And you can see some of those in the green peppers down the way over there. How they call them suntans, and they turn into now like a pimento is a specific type of pepper, but a lot of green peppers will end up turning red because they're mature.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people like to take the seeds out. When we were talking about this earlier.
That's what I was going to.
You know, the main thing is I cut right off the tip. You know, and then
so
you have like a little, you can hollow that out and take out the seeds.
Okay. So after you blanch that, Mike, for about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, see how that skin just comes right off. And you want to take that skin off because tomato skin actually doesn't digest in your digestive system. So you have that beautiful tomato, and that beautiful tomato can be used for sauce, or you can turn that into a great caprese salad. Because your guests are going to see that you took that extra level of step to take off that skin for them.
Ceviche.
Yeah, or for ceviche. All right.
We'll take our break now.
Yeah.
Okay. When we come back later on in the show, we're going to show you how to do this, how to put it in the jars, and then the finished product here. Is this good luck?
Well, that's sugar over the shoulder, so I think you created a new thing.
I like to just mess up that.
Are you going to do Salt Bay?
Huh? I don't even know how to do that.
You don't know how to do it? We'll do that in another segment.
All right, very good. Good job, you guys.
All right.
Thanks. Be back in a little while.
All right.
We have such a legacy, created such a legacy here in the Valley, and we're very well respected by numerous manufacturers in the industry. We're a leader in our industry, and I want to continue that. We want to continue that, and we want to take it to the next level. Whatever that level may be, we're ready for it.
So let yourself go to Ducat. Let yourself go to Ducat. Heels is the low-cost living, anti-inflation department store.
Shop Hills in the Liberty, Lincoln Knowles, and Boardman Plaza's Youngstown, and the Ridgeview Plaza in Warren, and the Hills location in Champion, all open 10 till 10 daily.
Welcome back to Riser out here in Columbiana. They have their first location in Boardman, and now they have expanded, Mike, for good reason. This food.
And the views off the, like if you like to just look at the golf course itself, really, really pretty. Open 5 days a week, off Mondays and Tuesdays.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. Speaking of restaurant designers.
Yeah, you know what? When you walk into a restaurant space, especially a couple of the big notable ones that have been around for a long time in the Youngstown area, it's like, you get this feeling, and you wonder who did that. Well, we have known her for a very long time, but now it is our chance to introduce to you Bobbie Mancino. Well, today we are introducing you to a woman behind so many concepts, so many restaurants, so many places here in the Valley, and she's right smack in the middle of her work day. This is Bobbie Mancino. Bobbie, you and I go way back.
Way back.
Lots and lots of years.
Yes.
And have recently been able to work with each other with a few different concepts. But you are one of those visionaries. You are one of those people that a lot of times when people walk into a space here in the Valley, they notice these little details.
They notice the details, but they feel it's a mood. It's a mood that I try to capture with each different design concept. Between Acquapazzo in Bistro in 1907 downtown, and now Oaxaca Taco here in Howland.
Right.
New concept, new design. People don't know why they like the space, but they do like the space because of the details. Okay, it's a mood, it's a feeling, it's an energy, it's a vibe. I do a lot of research, and I understand what my clients want. They tell me how they want the space to feel and what they want in the space, and then it's up to me to actually come up with that idea and give them a little bit more than what they want. And I know when to pull back, but I know when to actually, move ahead a little bit and be a little bit more creative.
Watching you go over the plans and then create something from nothing. Right now we're standing in the empty shell of what will eventually be Oaxaca Taco, which will go so fast now that you've done some of the work that's behind the scenes.
Right.
But this space is going to be completely different. And the Bistro 1907 space, completely different. Gosain's, completely different. I am naming places that people have been going to and are huge fans of, and the design element that goes beyond the food is you. So how do you change course with all these different concepts? Because Gosain's isn't this, isn't Bistro, isn't Aqua, isn't a couple of the other projects that we can't talk about. They're all so different.
Well, like I said, I listened to my client for Gosain's, for example. He told me, I want a Mediterranean feel. That's the only thing he said.
That's it? One sentence?
That was it. So I tried to do a lot of research. I give them sort of conceptual ideas and a direction that I'm going with. They approve that, then, a little bit of free reign, see if they like it, and go from there. But that's where the creative part comes in, and the best part of designing all these places is they're all successful, and I think that makes me happy, and that's worth it. All this hard work, all these sort of, stress-related days and meetings and such, and deadlines.
Yeah, they're constant.
It ends up being, at the end, it's very gratifying.
Okay, I'm going to ask you two questions to wrap this up.
Sure.
Your favorite design to work on?
Personally?
Yes, personally.
For me,
yeah. Your favorite?
Something that I have not done before, which is, I love an Art Deco design. So when I say Art Deco, I like that French Art Deco. The high contrast materials, the sort of saturated jewel tone colors, that sort of thing, you know, that high contrast. That I have not done. I would love to do a hotel and just like update it, Parisian Art Deco, and make it a little bit more modern.
Oh, I would be going. I would be watching that minute by minute. All right, and the other question, your favorite project that you've worked on? The favorite space.
That's not fair. I can't do it.
You can't do it?
No, I won't do it.
You won't do it?
Each one is unique and
like a baby.
Yeah.
Right?
It is. You're kind of like sad when it's over because you put so much time and effort to it. I cannot do that. I want to say every project that I've worked on, especially restaurants, okay, I feel like they're all my baby. And, you know, I support them. I go to these restaurants. I, you know, tell people, you know, check it out, you know, go see the design, but, you know, make sure you buy the food, that sort of thing. But each one has a special place in my heart. And I cannot pick one. They were all different. Just like, you know, you have 3 different children, you know, they're all different, but you love them all the same.
And she has got wonderful children too, I can say that as well, and a wonderful husband, wonderful grandchildren. If people wanted to get a hold of you, is there a chance if there's other people that would want to work with you on bigger projects? Can we?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can we put that out there?
They can call me anytime, you know.
We'll put the number.
Design. You know, 330-518-7239.
You are a gem, and you are a wealth of knowledge, and we're just lucky to have her on the show and consider her a friend. So congratulations on all the work.
Thank you, dear.
And it never ends for this lady, so thank you, Bobbie.
Supremely talented.
She really is, and so patient, and she brings all these different elements together, and it's like a mad scientist. You're like, what is she gonna do? And then somehow, like, you walk in and Aqua, right?
Yeah.
Bistro, like, it's just wow factor.
When people are taking selfies inside your restaurant, you know you got a cool restaurant.
And then that's because of Bobbie. So, all right, you ready for some before and after photos?
Of my weight loss journey?
No, you look great.
Okay.
Before and after photos when it comes to flipping a home where you gotta see the vision.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't see the vision, but that's why Kelly Warren is with us.
Let's see.
Well, this week on Home Advantage with Kelly Warren, we were outside of this house just a couple weeks ago, Kelly, and inside, like I said, you would not even know that this was happening on the inside. Right. But the people that own this place, we've got some before and after photos, and they are shocking.
Yes. Yes, that's the fun of real estate.
Oh, that's the fun of it, huh?
The facelift, yes.
Oh yeah, the ceilings.
The before and after pictures are the fun of it. The work is not the fun.
The ceilings in here are absolutely lovely. The light, the skylights, the colors, I mean, it's just fresh and clean. But when you guys, you know, when you first walked in as an agent and you're seeing what people are seeing for that first initial, oh lordy.
Yeah.
The reaction must be drastic. And for people that are thinking about doing these kinds of things, either you've got it in you or you don't.
Yeah, you know, that first project when somebody comes to me and says, I want to invest in real estate, and they buy their first one, that's often like a make or break, because people either fall in love with it or they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again.
Right, because the timeline can change based on what walls you rip up and what structures need to be removed and things like that. But when you are in the position where you're like, I'm locked, I'm loaded, I'm going to do this, when it's time to start making the decisions for cabinetry and countertops and all of this stuff, is it best to go, you know, like stay on that strict budget, or where do you then spend money when you're already overwhelmed maybe?
It really depends, because like everything, you can get cheap, thin plywood, you know, cabinets, or you can get the nice solid wood, and you're gonna see quite a difference in price. So depending on, I've seen people do a quick cheap flip where they put in the cheap cabinets, and I've seen people think, well, I'm gonna hold on to the house for a long time, so let me spend the extra money up front and put in the good stuff. So it just depends on who you are as an investor, what your budget is, what your purpose for the house is.
What your threshold is, right?
And then the buyer's got to look at that same stuff when they're buying a house. Like, you know, do I want this or do I want a different quality and stuff like that, so.
For people that have left a property and then maybe come back to visit it.
That's
you've
so
been
fun
in
for
you've been in
us.
this game
Yeah.
long enough. Like
Yeah.
I would imagine, I can't even, like the look on their faces when we're showing you guys the before photos and like it doesn't even look like the same house. When that original owner comes back.
That's fun for us. The owner, the adult who grew up in this house, has contacted us and wants to come back and walk through it. And it is just fun to show the transformation.
So
yeah.
many things are always happening within the real estate market, and you're looking at Zillow, you're looking at interest rates, you're trying to navigate it. Things that were super high and now they've sort of slowed, almost in a good way.
Yes, a little bit of breathing room has been nice. Anybody thinking about buying or selling, it's still a fantastic market. We're not going to see any major shifts like we saw a decade ago. It's going to be a nice soft transition. And maybe even a welcome transition.
Right, things were so hot and people were just buying stuff
it was
without
frustrating.
even...
It was frustrating to the buyers and it was hard for the sellers. And so, back to our normal market pace is a good thing.
A deep sigh of relief. And you guys have a wonderful team that are willing to help. And I know Fred and I might, we do text a couple people on your team when we got like a bright idea and then they're like, sure, of course, they're always willing to work with you. Call or text, right?
Yep, 330-717-2689.
And then sometimes you can get an email based on what your searches are, so you don't have to keep looking at Realtor.com and Zillow.com. You can just wait for the email to come to your inbox, and it updates with price decreases and new
Make
things
it nice
on the
and
market.
efficient on you, yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you.
We try. Thanks.
Salt Me is a company that produces products that are made out of Himalayan sea salt. I have a love affair with Himalayan sea salt. And as an ear, nose, and throat doctor, the most important thing for me is that the products are going to be effective and that they're going to be safe for patients. So I make products that help sinus conditions, and I make products that are going to be good for the skin and good for the body. And all of them are made of Himalayan sea salt.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. We would be remiss if we didn't remind everybody that today is 9/11. So it's a tough day for a lot of people, and I know nobody forgot what happened on that awful day.
No.
But there are some people that kind of made it their life's passion to not only never forget that, but really put some things together so people can recognize just the enormity of the day.
And there was a huge trip all the way to New York, and they brought something back that is incredibly special right here to Vienna, right here in Ohio. So take a look at this.
They were the 9/11 families associated with New York, New Jersey Port Authority. And they were looking for nonprofit organizations that would like to display artifacts from the World Trade Center. Well, we jumped on a bandwagon right away and we wrote a letter, gave them all our information, all that, and they said, okay, you're in the running, no problem. And then we got the word we can come and get the beams. So we set up an account at the Cortland Bank. They helped us set up an account to where all this money was in a special fund. So it paid for our trip up, and we had to have a special insurance coverage for the beams to transport them back here to Ohio. So Dreves Insurance helped us get that insurance. And Mr. Dreves asked me, he says, well, what do you think these beams are worth? I said, to me, they're priceless. We had the beams brought back here, and Star Manufacturing jumped on the bandwagon with us, and they helped us get everything ready. Executive Landscaping sent people up here on the weekends to do all this landscaping and all this, and it was all no charge for nothing. And on the first, when we revealed the beams on 2011, it was like we had over 400 people here. And we have been doing the memorial service ever since then on September 11th, whether it be a Saturday, Sunday,
It was an adventure, and it was a very, very emotional adventure, but wonderful, wonderful memories, especially with my brother, the firefighter. Emotional as to, you know, what a big event it was and how it changed this world, how it changed us after we saw it. We need to remember what happened. We need to remember, we need to never forget, and to really recognize our EMTs and our firemen and our policemen and all of our safety forces.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, and his sister. What
Yeah.
a remarkable story.
Taking the
And
time.
we were just talking about there are other 9/11
Right.
memorials in town. One in
But that was one I
Austintown.
never heard of.
I had never, and the fact that they went all that way and needed to raise all that money to make sure it got here safely.
Right.
Truly amazing.
All right. We'll make you smile again. Let's go. There's no canning in canning. It's jars. Right?
But there is canning in Canzonetta.
Right.
Okay?
He
All
can
right.
do. Here we go. Back here in Pesto's Test Kitchen with our special guest, Jeff Canzonetta, and
Yes.
because of his certification,
Oh, boy.
big canning certification.
Yes,
So that's
that's
what
right.
we're talking about today. And Mark is at the ready.
Yeah.
What are you working on?
Well, we're gonna make the brine for the dill pickles. We're
Okay.
gonna add some white vinegar,
Okay.
some just distilled white vinegar, your favorite kind. Some garlic cloves because I love garlic dill pickles.
Okay.
Some canning spice.
Okay.
And this is gonna go right onto the stove. We're gonna bring it to a boil. We're gonna pour it over the pickles. Over here we have always one of our favorites in the family, bread and butter pickles. It's
Okay.
got a little sweetness, a little salt, a
Same
little
pickles.
spice.
We use the same pickles.
Yeah,
We
same
just
pickles.
Cut them differently,
Yep.
and we're preparing them differently.
So we have some apple cider vinegar, some black mustard seed, some regular yellow mustard seed, some turmeric for the yellow golden color, looks beautiful, a little bit of celery seed because always with pickles and bread and butter, you love that pickle seed, some granulated garlic, some sugar, a decent amount of sugar, a decent amount of salt, and we're gonna put that on the stove, bring it to a boil, bring it up to about 185 degrees, and then we're gonna pickle. Tomatoes, after we skin them, we have them chopped here. They're going to go on the stove right now. And we're going to get those cooking. And then we're going to, once those are up to the proper temperature, we're going to puree them with an immersion blender, and we're going to put them into the jars as well.
And that's just like the beginning of
That's the
your
beginning,
sauce, right?
exactly. That's a base to your sauce.
That's the base.
But I'm going to let little brother take over and go where he's got to go.
Let's talk peppers. Tell them, remind people what kind of peppers are in here.
Okay, first off, we have our mild orange pepper. Yeah. And then we have our goat pepper, and then we have our Hungarian hot. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is also get some of this Morton canning salt. So we're going to be generous with it. We're going to salt it.
And if you missed it before, canning salt, use that instead of iodized salt. Okay.
Absolutely. And then we have our garlic. I love garlic. So
Are we doing all that?
Huh?
Are we putting all that?
Oh, we're putting all. No, I don't know. What do you think? We should put.
I think go for it, bro.
I don't know. That's a lot of garlic.
You know,
I don't know.
your
What do you
wife likes
think?
garlic, you
all
like
right, we're gonna
garlic.
throw it all
Mine,
in.
you
All
know,
right, all right.
it's
We
in.
got garlic in there. Now we have this wonderful oregano. So we're gonna throw some oregano in there. And what the heck?
There you go.
In there. And then we have some of our oil that we use here. Then we're gonna throw our oil in here, real nice.
Now this is kind of the recipe. You're
Well,
just
I mean,
eyeing it.
people have it
You know
down
what you
to
like.
measurements.
That's the basis for
I
Papa's
mean,
recipe.
I could get technical on it, but I'd have to kill you.
I think it's all in what you like.
All right,
Some
and
people
then
like
we
more
have
garlic,
our
less more
Regina.
garlic, saltier, not as salty, vinegary.
And then, of course, the red wine vinegar is what we use to acidify the product. We want to get that acid in there. Okay. So we have this right now. So what we're going to do is get our hands in here, and we're going to mix it up real
You're
good.
gonna make those happy, little brother.
How much are they? How big of a thing are we talking about here? How many pounds of pepper?
Oh, this is probably about 20 pounds of peppers, give or take.
Okay.
After you clean them. Now we leave our seeds in. Some people don't. Some people like to take them out. I believe
Jeffrey, I think-
believe they have flavor. So
I think what you got to talk about is what you guys have on your hands. Nobody knows why you're wearing gloves.
well, I'm wearing gloves too. If you decide to go with camo, and I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to have hot hands for a couple of days. So
My eye
these
has itched for
are,
about
I'm
20
just
minutes,
saying,
so
you want to
don't
be
itch
very
it.
careful.
Don't itch it.
Want to be
And
very
Mike, you have to
careful.
go to the bathroom, wash up first.
Gotcha.
So what we're going to do now, we're just going to give it a little simple taste. See where we're at.
Yeah. Feel good about that?
I think we're just going to add a little bit more salt.
Okay. And that's what you got to do while you're doing it, right?
Yeah, you always got to taste your product. Add that little bit of salt, and I think we're there.
All right.
We're going to let these sit.
That's Dad's classic tub. That's about 30 years old. Dump it in there. We're going to get it on the stove.
So we let this sit, then we take it to the stove, right?
Yeah, we're going to get it to the stove because, there's a couple different ways of hot canning. There's hot packing and cold packing. I think in the next segment, we'll get into the difference in those two.
Okay.
There we go.
Take this
All
over.
right, Mike. Nice with the big pan.
There you go. How long does that sit on there?
That's going to sit on there. We're going to bring it up to at least 185 degrees to can.
Okay.
Bring it up to a boil is the simplest way. It depends on how crisp or soft you like your peppers. If you like them a little bit crisper, just 185, take them off, immediately can them. If you like them a little softer, go all the way up to boil.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take our break.
We're going to take our break. We're going to come back and we're going to can.
That sounds good. Right. Be right back.
Thank you.
We've weathered our way through 75 winters. Let our service and sales staff help you weather the next storm with peace of mind and the right equipment. Before you know it, the snow will fly. Do yourself a favor and get to DuCut before the inventory of our Toro snowblowers blow away. The Toro Power Max for that heavy-duty job. The extra edge makes the job easy. And the Toro Power Clear model is simple and quick to use when Mother Nature just won't quit. We've got units starting at just $529.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I'm constantly asked by news sources how to best navigate today's real estate market. I call the brightest agents in the business to get their input. Hi, Kelly. What's going on in the Mahoney Valley area?
Hi, Barbara. The market in the Mahoning Valley has remained strong.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Sellers are enjoying the safety of the Guaranteed Sold program, and buyers and sellers love the 3D tour and the free moving truck.
Get the best advice from my friend Kelly Warren. Go to kellysoldit.com. Be safe and smart.
From New York City, the greatest 1960s musical recreation show on earth. This is The 60s Show.
The 60s Show, the greatest 1960s musical recreation concert ever, is coming to the Robbins Theater on Friday, November 4th. Be sure to get your tickets now at the box office or at robbinstheater.com. The 60s Show at the Robbins. Don't miss it. All right, we are back. Jeff is ready with his peppers and oil, and you're ready with your pickles.
Yes.
And here's the tomato sauce, and we're ready to go. So why don't you go ahead and get us started here?
Absolutely. We're going to fill our jar. That's
and we
been
cook
clean.
this to what?
Actually, we brought this up to, you have your trusty thermometer here. We put that in there. We want to bring it up to 185.
Okay.
All right. I just cooked that recently, so it is holding temperature at 185.
Why 185?
We want to kill all bacteria, plus that's the temperature our recipe asks for.
Okay.
You want to kill all bacteria.
All right.
So what we're going to do is fill. If I get this thing right. You want it close to the container. We're just filling. Filling real hot. Real nice.
So you do the peppers first, the juice second?
Oh, I do the juice second.
Okay.
You know why?
No, I don't.
Because I like to get a feel. I like peppers in the jar. I don't want to have all that liquid. We want peppers, and that's what people want.
All right. You work on that.
Yeah.
What are you doing over here? Now, this is interesting to me because on the dill, you just pour the sauce in.
Right. And the pickles, they're going to...
And bread and butter, you cook the pickles.
I cook the
we're
pickles
gonna go
because
ahead
I
and
want
pull
those
the other
pickles
one.
to taste all that turmeric and mustard seed and celery seed and granulated garlic, sugar. Plus, you want these ones a little bit softer. Now, if you want them crunchy, you can do them the other way, and that's fine. So we're just going to put them in here, and then I'm going to take the lid, put it on top. Now, these have been brought up to a quick boil, so they're nice and sanitary.
See how that hot's coming up there?
You just get a
Real nice and hot.
soft seal on that, Mike. You don't want it real hard, and we're going to stick it upside down because we want that seal to create that vacuum on that seal.
And that's what does it?
In about 5 minutes, we're going to come back, and then we're going to turn it over, and it's going to pop.
Because of the heat? Is that what seals it?
The heat seals it, absolutely.
Oh.
Then we have that beautiful pureed yellow tomatoes. How gorgeous is that? You know, my father and I always had a little battle. Like, my dad's a traditionalist, and he did not like my yellow tomato sauce one bit whatsoever.
So we're tapping them down inside here also. We want to get a nice little tap in it.
Oh, there you go.
So what we're going to do is add some liquid to it.
That fills up the rest.
That fills up the rest.
All right, 2 quick questions.
Yeah.
Can I use the jars I used last year?
Well, yes, yes you can. I recommend that you wash them at least once, twice, 3 times. You want to get all the grease off of them. I don't recommend some people want to use their lids.
Don't do the lids?
Don't do the lids. I mean, you can do the sealing lids, but the lids that actually touch the product, I wouldn't reuse.
I wouldn't recommend it either.
I mean, some old timers, they do that to saving some money, but when you're talking about they cost a couple bucks for safety and you want your family to be okay.
We talked about how I shouldn't eat a whole jar of peppers at once. I think that's a good tip. But when
Absolutely.
I do open it up and I pop it in the fridge, how long is it good?
I'd say 6-8 months.
6-8 months.
Seriously?
Yeah, you're good for 6-8 months.
So this is important also, like Mark was saying, a little vinegar bath. And what we want to do is just wipe this lid, wipe this rim, and that makes sure that there's no oil on that rim right there.
Now this is the test, though.
Because
this is the litmus test.
This is really that's important. And then we have a one cap lid. He has a 2-cap lid. This is a little simpler, less time. So you want to put that on there and just tight. You don't have to go crazy and get it super, super tight. Just tight.
Then you flip those two?
And then we're going to go ahead and invert. And we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that.
That's awesome.
And then we're going to go ahead and let those rest.
It does look good. But I think we have to have a little litmus test
Have
here,
some bread
bro.
with us.
I love the bread.
I mean, I know you don't like it. I know you just do it for TV, but we appreciate it. Hey, good job, you guys. Hey, get their peppers. Get Papa Canzonetta's peppers.
Oh, absolutely.
Bistro 1907.
Awesome stuff, man.
Good job.
Pets are part of the family, and at RC Compounding, their pharmacists make your pet a priority.
Pain management is a big one with animals, especially if they have cancer or like end of life. They're unable to take tablets or capsules, and we're able to customize it into a solution that an owner could administer pretty easily without, difficulty of having them swallow a tablet or capsule if they're not able to.
RC Compounding, we care about your health.
No hot water? Call A to Z Dependable Services. Our fully stocked rapid response water heater specialist will get you back in hot water in no time. A to Z is the only call you need to make.
Only A-to-Z.com.
Whether it's dinner out with friends and family or your next catered event, Rachel's Restaurant in Austintown always makes it special and delicious. Award-winning cuisine, relaxing atmosphere, and so much more. Rachel's Restaurant, Austintown.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. Happy Sunday, everybody. You having fun, Mike?
I'm having a great time. I'm near a golf course, but I have no aggravation at all because I'm not playing golf.
And no more food on his shirt either. Did I put more on there?
She had corn on her nose.
I did.
And I took care of that, so,
Maybe up the nose.
That's what people do.
Anyway, this is before your day and age and my day and age in Youngstown. But my former in-laws, my former Senora Landy, Mrs. Landy, Grandma Loretta, well, her family had something called the Pyatt Street Diner. Okay, and Sean Posey, our resident historian, I didn't even know he was putting this together, but wait till you see what this place has meant to not just Youngstown, but the entire valley and even our family.
From the roaring 20s until the early years of the 21st century, Pyatt Street on the south side became synonymous with one of the oldest farmers markets in the state. During its height, the Pyatt Street Market brought as many as 2,000 people a day to its colorful stalls, piled high with fruits, vegetables, meats, cheeses, even live chickens.
In the early decades, local corner grocers made up much of the business at Pyatt. Without adequate refrigeration facilities to keep produce consistently fresh, these operations, usually family-run, proved to be reliable customers. Housewives also made up one of the largest shares of the market's business. Usually cooking from scratch for large families, these women made Pyatt one of their regular stops. Farmers from across Northeast Ohio came to sell their wares. Consisting of an open-air market and a covered section, Pyatt offered everything from fruits and vegetables to meats and pastries. But as the rise of supermarkets in the 1950s and 60s changed the grocery business, traffic at Pyatt declined. By the 1990s, the Pyatt Street Diner, which offered white tablecloth service, became a Southside mainstay. Below the restaurant, the Pyatt Down Under Club offered fine jazz and blues music. These hotspots seemed to thrive even as the South Side and the market itself declined. However, by the early 2000s, Pyatt Street had gone dark, as the city's original farm-to-table market closed after almost 8 decades in business.
Oh, a big thank you to Sean Posey. And if you would like to catch his upcoming talk at the Kusalava Library, it's coming up on October 29th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's located right there on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Sean, what a wonderful story. We always like to make sure that we promote great events. And you know what, Mike? We've got another one coming in just a few weeks.
One of our favorites, Michael Pardolino, has his big event at Pardo's Golf and Learning Center in Hubbard. I think it's on 616. I always get that road messed up. But it's a fun little 9-hole golf course, and it is a great event. They have music, and they have sponsors and food, and it is a blast. And all the proceeds go for Michael and his eyesight. And we're lucky enough to interview him, and he's a great kid. He's probably hitting the ball a mile.
He's still doing really, really well. He's in school with Sabina, and so we got to see him on Meet the Teacher Day, and it was just a nice moment. Speaking of nice moments.
Yeah, Chef Lindsay, we did a number on your...
we really kept going.
We're saving that for Fred. That's why we didn't need it. Everything else is gone, man. So thank you.
Awesome.
And if you like live entertainment and sports, Lisa, this is a great place to enjoy it, right?
That's where we want to be.
Yeah.
Boardman in here, we have TVs
everywhere,
wall, and we want to be your sports bar, especially Ohio State, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Browns.
And some live events coming up too, right?
Yes, in the banquet hall, we do live music at least 2 to 3 times a month, even 4 times a month. So we have Old School coming up. Our DNA is on the 17th. 80s Proof in October. No Fault, No Justice is great. So we
Such
have
good
all those great acts coming up, and it's been very popular in there. We also do, that banquet hall could be used for showers and weddings and graduation
Big birthday parties.
Anniversaries, anything, anniversaries. Yeah.
I may have crashed a birthday party once here. I may have just showed up and enjoyed and got offered some cake. It may have happened. You know how it goes. Well, thank you again for everything, and thanks to Steel Light.
Yeah, thank you to Steel Light for allowing us to get out to even the people that don't necessarily use all their products. These ladies were lucky enough to inherit a lot of this stuff from the last owner, but Steel Light, cheers to you guys for making sure that we're able to get out there and put the spotlight on so many of these local restaurants. We know that I think they appreciate it. I'm pretty sure. So
Thank you.
All right, speaking of football.
Oh, here it comes.
I'm not going to give it away. If you don't know this commercial, enjoy it. It's our retro-mercial. It's only the most famous commercial of all time. Other than like the Charmin, Don't Squeeze the Charmin, I think is a good one. Yeah. And like My Baloney Has a First Name.
That would be.
That's
I think
one of the famous commercials of all time.
I think that's more famous.
All right, well.
Because who doesn't like bologna?
Enjoy this. Thanks for watching. Say bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Please, take them out.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good, makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to see
Hey, kid.
the whole world is smiling with me. Coca-Cola as life. Have a Coke and
Thanks, Mean Joe.
smile.
If you like this video, subscribe to Valley Spotlight on YouTube and be sure to click on the notifications bell so you know when we've got some new stuff. You also can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to us on Vimeo or our Roku channel.